to talk about. So.
Oh, yeah. What it is, what it do. Welcome to Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. Joshua Adam William Arvitant with the Crown Prince of Charisma, Morten.
We do these so rarely, unfortunately, that you kind of stumble there at the beginning. You're like, "What the hell show is this again?" Yes,
I was like, is it We Talk? Is it like I haven't done a podcast? I saw the last time I actually did a podcast was June 19th.
Holy crap!
The rundown with Devin. Oh no, maybe when did we do the wrestling podcast? We didn't do one
a month ago
for the Saudi show.
Yeah,
we did one before our truth came back, so it's been a second.
Yes,
and I haven't been.
Maybe it's been 6 weeks.
And I haven't broadcasted very much during this summer, so I haven't been in front of a mic as much as I'd like to be. But we have a good reason to do a show because it is arguably a bigger wrestling week than WrestleMania this week, as far as important shows.
Like I say, I consider this to be the biggest show weekend since WrestleMania. Is what I posted in our group chat, and this is much of it is counter programming from WWE, and then AEW's kind of organic, like All In has organically become their WrestleMania. Unlike TNA that said Bound for Glory is our WrestleMania, and you're always like, why? Like, what's special about it? It's just another event. Just another one. You have 12. It's just
ironically, Slammiversary is next week.
Yeah, Slammiversary should have been the one that they should have probably pushed as their big one back in the day.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize Slammiversary is coming up next week. Well, I mean, we'll see if there's 5 shows this weekend.
Do you think you'll watch all 5?
I'm hoping to watch. I think I'm watching 4. I think I haven't really been following NXT too closely. Maybe we get that out of the way firstly, because I haven't been following it too closely.
I'm going to go in order, I think. I'm going to go this, then I'll go NXT, then I'll go All In, then I'll do Bash and Evolution, unless you want to do AEW last.
That works for me.
I was going to go the order of the shows. If not, I can save AEW last because we'll probably talk about AEW the most.
Well, if you want, it does make sense to save that, because that is still the
we'll do All In last.
I mean, there's no doubt that as much as Evolution, as much as they are, using it to counter program that and everything they're doing, there's no question that All In has more buzz than Evolution. And part of that, I mean, hey, let's look at just, Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton, or Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm. What match do you want to see more? If you look at just the women's match, right?
Yeah.
That's probably, a big part of it.
Okay, well, let's do the Bash first. We'll do the Bash first, then we'll go to do the Bash first, because like you, I quite frankly, with how the summer's been, it has been a lot of post wrestling and a lot of YouTube for me to watch wrestling. That's kind of the best way I've been watching. I have not watched a lot of live wrestling this summer so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you. I mean, I'm sure you're still tuned into AEW, but I think as far as WWE, you're probably doing the same as far as podcast recaps and YouTube.
Yeah, AEW is a lot of YouTube, a lot of podcasts. Yeah. WWE is.
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of where NXT just kind of falls off between the cracks.
Yeah.
That if I see an NXT clip, I'm less likely to click it, just because I've already, I mean, if I'm watching AEW, that's 2 hours. And then I watch the recaps on YouTube of the WWE SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
And then I listen to the podcast. I'm still putting 4 or 5 hours worth into my wrestling every week.
Is there too much?
Going to get missed.
Is there too much now?
Yes. WWE is putting out too much product, and AEW doesn't need a second show.
Because even like stuff like Evolve and LFG, like LFG plays a factor in this show. Evolve, will play a factor. I think they're doing titles coming up here, but I'm like, I'm sorry, like I can't watch LFG and then do this. I don't care as much. Care is not the right word. I just don't have as much time to watch all these wrestling, because if you're doing a standard week, it's what? Monday is Raw, Tuesday is NXT. Wednesday is Evolve and Dynamite and Ring of Honor. Thursday is TNA and it's also Collision now. And then Friday is SmackDown. And then Saturday is PLEs and pay-per-views. We have a boxing match show too that I'm going to preview at the end here as well.
Yeah. Then don't forget there's also UFCs all the time as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for combat sports, you're not. I mean, it was like this in the 80s too. I mean, every night there was, the 80s and the late 90s. I mean, there was wrestling on every night. But it was different in that I think what it is it almost feels like when you're putting on this many shows, like a bit of a chore, a bit of a job just to watch it, instead of being purely for pleasure.
I will say WWE, I like that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Pardon me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the WWE, NXT. NXT, if I was watching it, it would definitely be a feeling of, hey, you're watching this because you're doing a podcast. If we were doing it regularly, I'd feel much more obligated to watch it, and then it would feel like a job.
I will say the fact that we're not watching AEW till Sunday because of commitments that we have on the Saturday, it does make watching those WWE shows easier now because it's like, well, I'm not watching AEW on Saturday, so I'll watch those two WWE shows on the Saturday now.
Absolutely, it does. It makes. I mean, tomorrow my Calgary Stampeders are facing the Saskatchewan Roughriders, so I'll be watching that on Friday. So I'll probably be watching a big game. It'll be a very interesting game here in the Canadian Football League, and we will be watching probably ROH in the morning myself to fall, or I'll stay up really late and watch it and replay.
It's a good card
after the football game. It's a good card. It's got two matches I'm very intrigued in.
We'll get to that third last. Let's do the show. So what show are you least intrigued by? Saturday night main event or NXT?
NXT is the one I have the least. I don't really, like I said, I haven't really been following the storylines at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't say I have either, but so Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy from LFG, and it seems like they have just put him into the fire and are ready to go and put him into a main position. And Javon Evans, also one of the future stars of this company.
That's an interesting one. That's very interesting because it's one of those matches where I don't think either guys should be taking a loss right now. I think Evans is super talented. But let's go with the other guy. What's his name again?
Jasper Troy. Neither one of them are getting. Yeah. I think we only have 2 potential call-ups from this show, maybe afterwards.
We'll see.
And it's from this match. Falls Count Anywhere, Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints. Not to get ahead of Saturday night's main event, but I think whoever loses this match is probably the fourth man in what John Pollock has called the Seth Riders.
I think there's a really strong chance that that's the case. And I figure Ricky Saints is the guy that gets called up.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's ready to go. I think Ethan's ready to go to win. Yeah, I think Ethan wins.
Yeah, the difference with Ethan is he's just not as young. There's not the same upside.
I would think he fits maybe better with the Seth Riders.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
no.
Braun's still a young guy.
I guess Ricky could be the Orton, really, right?
Pardon me?
Ricky could be like the Randy Orton of the group.
Yeah, exactly. The younger guy. Bronson Reed is fresh. He's not as young, but he's still a fresh guy. And he's not old either. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ethan Page wins this match. Then Ricky Saints we see on Saturday night's main event, joining Seth.
Be interesting to see on the main roster. I mean, that is a heel group, though. I think this is. I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here. I'm sorry, but I know we're previewing the shows, but it's just. I think one of the reasons why I'm mainly following WWE on YouTube is because when I do watch the show, all the heels get babyface reactions.
Yeah, specifically Braun Breaker, who the crowd is ready to make the next super duper star.
Yeah, well, not just everybody.
Seth,
even Gunther.
Yeah,
even Gunther gets a babyface reaction when he comes out. I watched the Saudi show. everybody, Dom, another one. Everybody's getting cheered. The only guy who's getting like AEW, the heels are getting heel heat. MJF is once again getting heel heat. Don Callis gets heel heat. The Bucks get heel heat. Jon Moxley gets heel heat. Nobody really gets. It's like everybody's such a superstar, and they're so happy to see everybody. Everybody gets a babyface reaction, and or they want to cheer.
Becky kind of is. Yeah, Karrion Kross is getting one.
They want to cheer Becky. They know they're not supposed to, but they want.
Like Karrion Kross takes Sammy out indefinitely. Yay!
I know. The crowd goes crazy for it. Like it's one of the problems I'm actually having with the product is that the fans. It's not even that they're not playing along. It's that they're so excited to see everybody, and everybody's such a superstar that nobody gets old-fashioned wrestling heel heat, and it hurts the product for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
So,
then we have the NXT Women's North American Championship. Izzy Dame with Tatum Paxley in her corner with Sol Ruca and Zara. We'll talk more about Sol Ruca and Zara later. I'd say Sol. She's one of the bigger stars there. I think they want to have a run with her for a little bit. And I could see a Kalani Jordan or a Jada Parker match coming. I think one of those would probably be who takes the title off her. Probably maybe Jada Parker more of anyone there. But Izzy Dame has been growing. She's in the Sean Spears faction, but I'll take Sol Ruca.
Jade Parker is definitely somebody with a lot of upside, but is still too green to be ready to get called up.
Yeah, it was crazy. In the I did watch the Evolution Women's Summit with the promos, and she cleared everybody. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, she's got a great presence. Is probably the best way to put it. Yeah. But I'll agree with you on the winner of this match.
Tag team match: Jordynne Grace versus Blake Monroe, and they take on Fatal Influence. I believe this is Blake Monroe's official first WWE match. Jordynne Grace and Blake will win this. And then I think Jordan at Evolution, then she faces JC. So we'll get to that match in a bit here. But
I got Blake turning on Jordan.
Okay.
Costing of the match.
What have you thought about Blake so far in WWE?
She is actually the one person who I am clicking on the NXT YouTube things. Like I'm curious as to how she's done. Yeah. It's very obvious she's already ready for main roster, big push. She's she has too much going for her for NXT, which is still developmental. But I understand why they need to replace some of the star power they've lost there and keep her there for a little while. But absolutely, I'm still not huge on the name Blake Monroe. Like it just doesn't flow off my tongue easily. But as far as her, she's been good. But Mariah May flowed off the tongue. That just was easy, right? Blake Monroe just seems a little less. But I'll get used to it. I think she's been fine. She's been basically the same character, I mean, she is the same character she was in AEW, except for she's a babyface at the moment.
And there's no Toni Storm.
That's
the weird part with it is like it's so weird to not see her with Toni Storm. It is throwing me off still. I have such a connection to her and Toni that it is weird to see her in this. I did the Jordynne Grace, Blake kind of like doing the facials and getting the mani-pedis and everything like that. I thought that segment was pretty good. And Blake, I think, really stole the show in that. And I think that was them too, because Jordan is going to have to do some of those segments and her acting is subpar. So I think they did a good job there of Blake trying to get some more out of her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Jordynne Grace is, that will never be her strength.
Yeah.
Her strength is her strength.
And then your NXT championships, Yokoshai Imamura takes on Obafemi. Obafemi will be going to the main roster, just not yet, probably after Mania. So Obafemi wins this. This is the problem, too, when you talk about NXT. Like, if Ricky does leave, which you and I both are assuming it's coming up pretty fast here, I don't know enough of the men's roster seems very shallow. Like, Javon Evans seems like the best case to maybe go against him. Like, that seems like the second biggest baby face in the company. I think I believe Goba's a babyface right now, but like the star potential there as far as the male side, and I think that's why they're going so hard on Jasper Troy right now. And Trick is obviously doing everything he is in TNA right now. They are desperately missing like top tier male superstars right now. The women definitely run NXT.
Oh, absolutely. The women's roster in NXT is deep and talented. The men's roster is funny because when you look at who they've developed over the last several years, a lot of their best prospects have still been guys that were indie guys that became main roster, became NXT guys that then went on to the main roster. You don't see it, I just think they haven't done as good a job recruiting talent. And maybe that's where LFG is supposed to come in and show that they have got a lot of guys in the men's division in NXT that are physical specimens or athletically gifted. But being athletically gifted does not make you a great professional wrestler.
No.
So we'll see what they do with these guys in the coming couple of years, how many guys they actually develop into the main roster, because you're right, when you're looking at the main roster, Obi Femi is a surefire, not just main roster, but a star. Trick eventually will be on the main roster. I don't know if he'll be a star seeing
after Mello, I don't know. Yeah.
No. But it's definitely thin.
Yeah. I mean, because I could use Sean Spears, like Charlie Dempsey, like it is
Sean
shallow.
Spears is like a player coach, right?
He
like
is.
He's not.
This is why I'm like, it's shallow, man. Like I don't think Ethan Page will be going back for the title. Like I said, if he loses, then he'll probably go to the Seth faction. If Ricky loses, he's probably going to the Seth faction. I think it's one of those two. Ricky going for the title against Oba could make sense. I guess you still have Wes Lee there, but that kind of seems like a little bit of a retread. And then you got guys like the Don and Andre Chase that are there that, sure, it'd be really cool pop if one of them win because they've been NXT loyalists, but like, I guess you could do a title run with the Don because I've been on here. I don't see the Don as a main roster level character or talent, not in the Paul Levesque era.
It's not. It's the gimmick is 2002. You know what I mean? It just feels like it's 2002.
When they brought up like Mordecai and Eugene and all those guys all at once, and like Kevin Thorne, like he kind of felt like he would have been part of that.
Exactly.
And Mordecai and Kevin Thorne are the same people. I know that before anyone like gives me comments about
that. No, but it's true that this is it's not a gimmick that I think. I mean, it's a gimmick that they could try on the main roster, but let's face it, they tried a similar gimmick on the main roster at least 3 times I can think of previously, and it's never got over.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
With the FBI, and the only reason that got over is because Nunzio is a good character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's NXT. I think
Wesley, I really like Wesley, but he doesn't have, like, his whole thing is he's really athletic. He has great offense. He's fun to watch in the ring. He doesn't have any personality or gimmick that stands out. His whole thing is how good he is in the ring, and that's tough in WWE. That can work elsewhere, but in WWE, that's tough.
You know what the irony or the ironic thing is of this is, I think the best talent to take the title off of Obafemi don't work officially for NXT. And that would be Joe Hendry. It would be a Mike Santana. It could be a Leon Slater. It could be a Moose. It's all those talents.
Yeah, Mike Santana is really proven. He
might be most improved.
Really
he might be most improved.
Yeah,
he might be
most improved. He has been. If you haven't watched him in TNA, and you're thinking, Mike Santana, the guy from the Chris Jericho's faction and everything like that in AEW, and you kind of have a pre-set idea of what he is. He has proven to be, not only can he go, but it's more his again, it's not charisma. Charisma isn't the right word. It's presence. There's a realism to him.
Heart.
Like, you believe in him. You believe in his. Yes, exactly.
It's kind of just to kind of, for a parallel, when I've been doing some of these fantasy football shows, and I've been really high on the Giants running back Cam Scatabo. And it sounds very corny, but everyone's like, why are you so high on Cam Scatabo? He doesn't have this, and this. I'm like, it's because, like, if you watch him at ASU, he has the one thing that he has heart. And it sounds corny, but that's what Cam Scatabo has. He has heart. And that's the same thing with Mike Santana. He has this passion and this heart. And I wonder with TNA, with Slammiversary, if the idea was, well, maybe we'll put it back into Hendry, but now Santana has just kind of really just risen up the charts. Like, no, maybe we should give it to Mike Santana because maybe Joe is going to NXT soon anyway. So maybe it's the best thing to put it on Mike now and make him the new face of TNA because Joe's had his moment. He had the title at WrestleMania to elevate the belt a little bit. And let's put it on Santana because he's earned it.
Joe is like many times you see the chase is better than the actual, catch. So, I mean, the chase for him to get the belt was more interesting than him having the belt. Yeah. Mike Santana might be different. I think he could be a really good champion for them.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about WWE Saturday night's main event. Right now we have 4 matches on the show. We start off with Dom Mysterio versus AJ Styles. It seems like they're doing a thing right now, with Judgment Day having all the belts type of thing. Was this happening?
Judgment Day having all the belts. It's also I think it's partially the Judgment Day is having all the belts. I also think it's mainly that AJ is going to be doing a lot of jobs and putting a lot of people over on his last kind of run here. And
until WrestleMania,
that'll be his role. Yeah, exactly. And it might make him an underdog, and then they pull that storyline and him, going for one last championship near the end. But yeah, I just don't see him. I don't see him winning this one.
Although I wouldn't mind AJ having the belt for a little bit, and then you could do Reed or Breaker versus him at SummerSlam. That would be an actual good match. But I do think Dom's hold on.
That would be fantastic. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I'll say Drew because I think Drew doesn't get many big wins as much anymore. So I'm just excited to hear Jesse talk about a Drew match again. Hopefully Jesse's on commentary again.
We'll see after last time. What do you mean he didn't out the door?
Yeah, I'll say Drew though.
He can go over the top. That's my Jesse. How is it?
You have Drew as well, or are you going to go with Randy?
Actually, I'm going to go with Randy.
Okay.
I'm surprised. I thought Drew was coming back as a babyface.
Babyface.
So
yeah. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins, pointless match. The crowd doesn't want this match. The crowd wants CM Punk for Seth. I'm guessing maybe they're holding it off for SummerSlam. What are they doing for SummerSlam? Like, is Roman versus Braun seems too. That seems too. SummerSlam does not seem like the right time for that. That seems like WrestleMania if you're going to do Braun and Roman.
Braun, you gotta hold off. You gotta make the people want it so bad that they're salivating. You gotta make them want it, not give it to them, and then finally give it to them.
Maybe do Braun and Punk. Braun and Punk, and then Seth and Roman at SummerSlam.
I don't. I mean, it's obvious Roman is coming back. From all the references to him. So, I mean, we'll obviously see him at SummerSlam. I don't want to see Punk and Seth anymore. I'm so over it.
By the way, how long are we going to see Roman and Cody for?
I don't know, but at least the actual amount of matches and the actual amounts of times that they've interacted on television is lessened because of Roman's schedule.
Do they do a 3-way?
Punk and Rollins has been going on for
2 years,
18 months now.
2 years since Punk's been back.
2 years, since Punk's been back. So closing out of 2 years. I'm just done with it.
I'm assuming the end goal here is at some point he's beating Gunther or cashing in on Gunther. And Seth will be the champion, and then Punk is winning the Rumble, is what my assumption is. And then it's
they keep on. Punk's the thing is, they keep on teasing that he's. They keep on teasing that he's going to cash in on the other title,
on Cena,
on Cena's title. Yeah, they keep on teasing that, which makes me think that it's supposed to be a swerve. So when he cashes in on the Gunther title, now we haven't gotten to the main event yet, but I'll say I think Goldberg's winning, which means a cash in is possible.
Yeah. If Goldberg doesn't win, I do think it's Gunther versus Punk at SummerSlam.
Probably.
Yeah. But which would mean then it'd be Roman and Seth at SummerSlam.
But I mean, Punk is another one who's like is starting to get to the point where he's not getting a lot of big wins either. And would he beat Gunther? I'm not so sure he would. So, but I do think Goldberg
it doesn't make sense for the story. Seth has to screw him.
There's a good chance there's a cash in. Pardon me?
It doesn't make sense for Punk to beat Gunther because Seth has to screw him. The idea is that Seth wins the title and then Punk would win the Rumble and then finally win the big one a year later at Mania after Heyman screwed him. That's the story per se. If you're telling the long-term story, I do think Goldberg's winning.
The character of CM Punk was so hurt by the John Cena mini feud and John Cena's mic bomb. I thought that
the fake fan is Saudi.
I don't know that he's going to have the same kind of crowd behind him come Mania that they thought he would a couple of years ago, and I think they thought make it a long chase, and he'll have by the time again you get there, crowd will be salivating for it.
You have the Sammy stuff too in the background, right? So you have the Sammy idea in the background too. You can pull the trigger on.
Yeah. I think Sammy is more though. Again, everybody getting cheered. I mean, who gets a bigger babyface possible than Seth Rollins?
Maybe Karrion Kross.
I mean,
Breaker probably, honestly. It's probably Braun Breaker. It's probably Breaker. Breaker is so fucking over right now.
I know he is. And
they should almost just have him turn on Seth. It would be nuts.
You know what? That's what you do. You have him win it. What you do is you have him win the world title, beat Gunther or whatever at the SummerSlam. Then you have Seth come in and go, "I'm cashing it in on you. Here, lie down."
Yeah.
Lie down. And when he doesn't lie down and he spears him and pins him, sets off the feud.
That's way better.
That's what you do. Now, that would be fun. Probably not going to happen.
I do think Goldberg is winning too. And then maybe either having an actual one more match, it's taking it to SummerSlam potentially. But the only thing that it changes is the fact that it is in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So I do expect him to maybe drop the belt there. I'm not sure, but I do think Goldberg is winning.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know why I think he's winning. So it doesn't make any sense logically, but it's just this gut feeling. Gut feeling.
I could see him winning, and then they have a tournament even.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that because, well, I mean, they just had a tournament.
What's Goldberg's best match ever? Is that the second Brock match at Mania?
I still think it's the match with DDP. That's the one I think of.
Right.
The main event match with DDP. I think that was pretty damn good. He also had a really good match with Saturn too.
He did.
Which match?
The one with Hogan in the stadium that he won was a good booked entertainment match. Not what quality we want, but as far as
match. And you know what? It followed earlier in the night. He faced Razor or Scott Hall, and that was a good match too. And he had a pretty decent match with Sting on Nitro that ended up in a cluster that didn't end up with a winner. Back when they just gave away Crow Sting versus him on a Nitro to get to ratings, but it was a good match. So,
wow. WCW.
Yeah. WCW.
Yeah, I Gunther, if anyone's Gunther carried Pat McAfee to something decent, so he can carry Goldberg to something decent.
Well, it's still going to go 5 minutes.
Yeah, over under 5.
I'll say 4 minutes, 58 seconds.
Yeah. He's going to get a jackhammer. That's going to happen for sure. And I'm just like, can he get Gunther up for the jackhammer?
Probably, because the last thing a person loses is their power. Like, when you look back at Goldberg and what made him look so good, I mean, yeah, he was super powerful. But he also had, oops, sorry, I just lost something on my screen. I lost you for a second. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
You're still there. Sorry about that.
No worries.
When you look at he had the incredible power. He also had an unbelievable first step, like, of quickness, just like an incredible explosiveness that was Goldberg's signature calling card, and that's what made him seem so awesome. The power, I think he still has. The power is the last thing you lose. You keep that with age. In fact, he still gets stronger. I mean, look at, you see people setting bench pressing records for themselves in their 60s. But the one step explosiveness is definitely gone for Goldberg.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, let's move on to your choice. Do you want to just clean sweep WWE and then go to ROH, or do you think ROH and then Evolution?
Let's do ROH.
Okay.
This card is. I don't think it sounds like they will. It sounds like the women's Evolution pay-per-view will probably sell out, but ticket sales haven't been too good. I'm not sure how much interest there's going to be in the card. Let's give them some credit and do them before or after ROH.
All right. So the one I still don't know, and I couldn't really find anything. I don't know if you have, about who is fighting for this interim women's world championship, for the television championship.
No. All they've said is that they need to. The Red Velvet has to vacate doing an interim championship. She won't be gone too long. I don't know who it's going to be. It'd be people that will probably be in the women's gauntlet tomorrow.
Probably. All right. Megan Bain have the title. Megan Bain, Billy Starks, the Virtuosa is not doing shit. Give her the title.
Yeah. There's a lot of good. I mean, Red Velvet is a heel, so you want somebody who's a baby face.
Yeah.
So,
isn't Johnny Mundo's wife? She's in ROH too, right?
Yeah, she's in ROH. Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, so Taya Valkyrie. There's
Johnny Mundo, Johnny TV, Johnny.
Yeah. Everything. We have a 6-man tag match.
Johnny Drip is still my favorite.
Johnny Drip
was the best.
The Dark Order versus the Frat House. I like the idea of the Frat House. They're entertaining at the very least. But I would say the
Frat House. I mean, I was introduced to them because not on ROH. I was introduced to them. I think it was Collision, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Collision.
It was a Collision.
No, it was a Dynamite actually.
Or was it?
It was a Dynamite.
Yeah. I thought it was like one of the 4-hour shows, but
yeah.
But either way, immediately I went, this is fun. This is. I mean, it's not a gimmick that's going to get over, but it gets a lot of people on TV, a lot of people, and it's fun.
Yeah,
Dark Order will lose.
Yeah, and you might convince me. The ROH World Television Championship. Before we get to this, can you? Because I've been out of the loop as much. What happened to Cope?
What happened to Cope?
FTR took him out, right?
FTR took him out months ago. Okay. And then I think the plan was, from what I understand, to have Christian and Cope team up and take on FTR at All In was the plan. But Christian said, look, I have this storyline with the patriarchy and with Nick Wayne, and we've never wrapped it up and we've never solved it. I want to finish this storyline first and ask Tony if they can do this storyline the justice it deserves, which is probably why they're doing Nick Wayne and Christian Cage challenging for the tag team titles in a 3-way match at All In. So once that wraps up, we'll probably see Cope come back and see Christian and that whole thing still happen.
Finally get the old fucks and the young bucks.
Probably.
Okay. Nick Wayne versus Titan. I would say right now, with everything I think is going to happen going into All In, Nick Wayne, I think, is going to go on the upward trajectory right now, so they're going to keep the title on him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, for sure.
Good match, though. Really good match. I mean, everything on here is a banger. Like, this card is outstanding. We we have the pro wrestling rules for the Pure Championship. This match really stood out to me. Lee Moriarty and Blue Panther. This is like the hidden gem. Maybe not, I don't know. But for wrestling sickos, I think this is the hidden gem of the week.
Lee Moriarty, people don't realize it because, again, it's ROH. That dude is killing it as the Pure Champion. Like, he's having really good matches. He's had a good long reign. I mean, I think he's going to retain it again. But, yeah, it's really good stuff.
Blue Panther, 64 years old, still going.
Still going. Yeah. I thought it was Blue Panther Jr.
Maybe it is, right? I mean, on Wikipedia, at least it takes me. Maybe it is Blue Panther. It must be Blue Panther Jr. It just takes me to Blue Panther Senior when I click on it on Wikipedia. So it's probably Junior. Tag team
Either
championship.
Way, it should be a fun match.
Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara versus the infantry of Captain Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo. It was revealed that Dustin Rhodes back in December signed a 6-year deal with AEW to wrap up his career. He will have wrestled for 6 decades when it's done, and then will transition into a coach. So that's nuts.
That is nuts. You know what? He still looks better than he did 25 years ago. So
I know.
I mean, why not? Like, in this match, I feel like it's the infantry's time. Yeah. But I also feel like they like Dustin and Sammy Guevara as champions, and they're not going to probably take the belts off it. I'm kind of hoping the infantry wins, but I will go with the Sons of Texas.
We have the championship, or the ROH championship, Athena versus Thunder Rosa. I would assume here, as much as I like Thunder, this will be a great match, but Athena will continue to hold on to the championship still. Although her contract is coming up and she is not renewed yet.
That's interesting. But she is the forever champion. I think she'll renew. I just can't. Yeah. Maybe she wants to be on Dynamite and Collision more, but she's starting to get a few shots on there again. Yeah. I mean, as far as match, this and the main event, both are the 2 matches where I'm like, I cannot wait for these. Yeah. And the main event will not obviously. Athena often headlines these shows.
Yes.
You know, at this time with Bandito versus Takeshita.
I think that's the headline.
I think that's the headline. But Athena often does, and she just nails it. So Thunder Rosa has really strong psychology for her wrestling. Yeah. Athena is good at everything. This should be a hell of a match.
That should be great. And then that you mentioned the main event, Bandito versus Takeshita. We got a little bit of sample of this in the tag match from last night on Dynamite.
That was great.
This again, I mean, it's hard. Like in any other week, this would be a match of the week, match of the year contender. I just think by the time we get to the end of whenever All In is done, it's gonna be like, yep, that was the 5th best match of the week.
Yeah, this match alone probably is better than anything on
any WWE show
WWE is producing this weekend. I think, to be honest with you. Yeah. And this is just ROH. Like, this match is going to be ridiculous. I legit think Takeshita's a top 10 guy in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, he's that good. I think he's going to the semifinals of the G1 this year. That starts in 10 days, and I'll pick him as one of the 4 semifinalists.
Is Gabe Kidd in that?
He's gonna. Pardon me.
Gabe Kidd in it.
G1. Gabe Kidd is another one I'm picking as a semifinalist. Yeah, Gabe Kidd is in it. It's a really interesting, just to get off a little bit here on G1, but it's mostly of guys 2 to 3 years who are in their 2nd or to 3rd G1. There's a couple older guys who've been in multiple G1s. There's a couple fresh guys, but it's mainly guys who are 2 to 3, 4 years into their G1s, and now is their time. And it's going to be guys like Gabe Kidd and Yoda Suji and Takeshita even, like the guys like this, like guys in that kind of mid to late 80s or mid to late 20s. I mean, who will be the guys who should be getting the majority of the push, and it should make for a great tournament because these guys are going to be hungry to want to step up and show that they should be the guy that is the next man to carry the company, because that man has not really been with the belt last 3 guys being Sabre Jr., Goto, Sabre Jr. The next young guy who they're going to build around is kind of up in the air, and it could be. There's a lot of people it could be, so they're going to be hungry to prove that it wants to be them.
It seems like a nice time for New Japan right now, because I almost feel like I've had more TNA conversations with wrestling fans than New Japan even the last few months here. So G1 could be a big breakout for New Japan to kind of get their footing back, and we have Forbidden Door coming up as well. So.
And Forbidden Door, yeah, which will be largely, I think, CMLL this year, but
yeah, it's mostly CMLL.
Yeah, but still, I mean, there will be the occasional. Like I want Shibata and Goto if he's healthy by then. He's unfortunately out of the G1.
I saw that, yeah.
And dropped the belt to Zack Sabre Jr. because of the injury. But we'll see if he'll be back. I want Shibata versus him though at Forbidden Door so bad.
So yeah, this ROH show is gonna be. You mentioned we'll go to Evolution after this, but the two best WWE matches I think are on that Evolution show. They're not on NXT and they're not on Saturday Night's main event. Like for what WWE can give for the best matches this week, two of them are from Evolution. This ROH card, though, I would say for me, this is probably the most excited I've been about an ROH card, probably since that show that had that ladder match with the tragic injury in it. But that show
with Layla Hirsch.
Not Layla Hirsch. No, who was it from Top Flight?
Oh, yes. Yes. Dante Martin.
But that was a good show because that had Briscoe and Joe. That had Briscoe and Joe on it, and there was a bunch of Claudio and Eddie Kingston was on that. That was a really good ROH show. And this is probably the most excited I've been about an ROH show. Top to bottom. I haven't seen as much Titan, and every time I do, I'm excited for him.
It was Layla Hirsch and I can't remember who she faced. They had a ladder match at about a year ago at a pay-per-view that ended in an injury, but damn, was it good. Layla Hirsch, free agent now. I hope somebody uses her. I think she's a really fairly talented performer.
I would hope so. And then the next ROH show will be September 5th, and that will be in Philly. So being in Philly, that should be, and they're doing the ECW arena. So that'll be really cool. See what they can do.
Honestly, just for the atmosphere alone, that will be worth watching.
Yeah. So ROH maybe getting a little bit of a buzz back a little bit. All right. WWE Evolution, the second one. It is a heavy card. Heavier than most WWE PLEs are. 7 matches on this, and that's pretty heavy for a Paul Levesque PLE.
Mm-hmm. Which means they're going to be a little bit shorter. I don't think the show's going to run longer.
No. Like I said, there's 2 matches on here. If WWE was going to have a match of the week contender, there's 2 matches on here. But I just think with what ROH is putting out and what All In is putting out, it's going to be really Russell votes on his podcast, and he has the insight to WWE better than most does. He said the reason WWE does the show is because they want the last word. And people will be talking about Evolution, but I don't think there's almost anything on here outside of AJ Lee returning that's going to get anything to have the last word over what All In was. If AJ Lee comes back at the show, that's the biggest thing they could do to me. And I still don't think that can top what All In is going to do.
I don't think so either, honestly.
But would you agree that's the biggest thing they could probably do for at least buzz?
That's the biggest thing they could do as far as social media and interactions, TikTok, this type of thing, is her coming back. That would generate a massive amount.
Even if Paige comes back, I think it'll be cool, but I don't. Not the same way that AJ Lee would. But all right, let's talk about the show.
What is the situation with Paige, and what is the situation? Because I mean,
I don't know what WWE's she did Chris Van Fleet.
Yeah, I know she's a free agent. I was going to say, what is the situation with WWE and Alberto Del Rio?
Del Rio is not under contract. He is only with AAA. Okay. He is not. Okay. There's guys that are AAA talent. Let's say like you're Mr. Iguana or you're Vikinho. And then there are people that are only AAA talents. And that's a very few majority. But right now, from my understanding, Alberto Del Rio is only a AAA talent. He is not a WWE talent.
Because if he has anything to do at all, like even
you don't want Paige near that.
Yeah, even as in a satellite situation where he's on the outside, if he's still circling the world of WWE in any way, shape, or form, I don't think I'm Paige. I don't think I want to go near that personally.
No. It was interesting. The Chris Van Vliet podcast, she said like the only reason she had an offer from WWE and she had an offer from Tony Khan and AEW, and WWE said you can come back, and it was a little bit more money, and you can potentially wrestle again. But Tony said you can come back, and we'll give your brother a job.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she went with, I'm going to give my brother a job. And unfortunately, her brother didn't really hit in AEW.
He didn't get a real big chance either.
No. But he got his chance. A little bit. He was at least on. So who knows? Maybe coming back. Maybe he'll be on NXT. Who knows? All right. I don't even know where to start with this. So I'm going to start with the matches that This is actually a really good card, actually, Evolution. It's a really good card.
It's a good card. It is a good card.
Battle Royal. Participants are all over the place in this. Participants so far: Stephanie Vaquer, Ivy Nile, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Natalya, Maxine Dupree, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Last Legend, Izzy Dame, Tatum Pexley, Selena Vega, Julia, Candice LeRae. Again, I think there'll be a surprise in this. Maybe Alita. If you're going to do AJ Lee, I think that AJ Lee thing is ticking down. So I think a show like this would make sense for AJ Lee. Potentially Paige could be at this show. Maybe Brie Bella. Maybe of Michelle McCool. I'm thinking as far as surprises for the Battle Royal. Anyone else you can kind of think of for surprises for the Battle Royal?
No, I think you nailed all the ones that are. Anybody else, like they could bring back other people, but would anybody care? Like, you know, if
trying to think of the big talents.
Does anybody care?
No.
You know?
I'm trying to think of the big talent that haven't been around. I mean, Mickey could pop into it. Maybe you can get a Slamovich.
Brie, obviously.
Yeah. Slamovich would be cool. Around, so. Maybe you could do Billy Kay, potentially.
Actually, the Iconics could be on their way back. So
yeah, so you could do them part of this. So it's for a championship at Clash. The right choice to me is Stephanie Vaquer, but I feel like Nikki Bella's winning this.
I also think Nikki Bella's winning this, or Brie, one of them. Yeah. I feel like Bella's winning it, or Nia Jax, just because they seem to always stick it to me with her and keep her around. But I would go with Nikki. I would go with Nikki.
Yeah, I feel like it's Nikki versus
right choice.
Stephanie's the right choice. I feel like Nikki versus Tiffy's the way they would go, but I do feel like Tiffy is losing the belts, not to Trish. We'll get to that in a second, but I feel like she's losing to Jade at SummerSlam. So I don't think that match will be going on for Nikki. I don't know what the match for Nikki would be.
That match, I do not want to see. Talented as Tiffy is talented. A very good athlete. But boy, I'm not sure that's a match I want to see. Especially at SummerSlam.
Tiffy and Jade? Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so we'll both have... Stephanie makes the most sense. And next up, let's go to the NXT Championship. JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. I don't know if the Blake turn happens at NXT, but the Blake turn could happen here, and potentially Blake joins Fatal Influence.
That's true. And if that happens, you know what? That's very true.
And then it's kind of JC.
They would still need to.
Blake
They would
kind
still
of doing
need to
the Tony
lose the match
thing
earlier. They would still need to lose the match earlier.
So maybe Blake does something that's kind of like, oh, that's weird that she did that to Jordan, and then costs Jordan the pinfall in that. And then people are like, oh, well, Jordan took the pinfall, so she's going to win the title. And then you could kind of have the Tony Storm, JC Jane thing with Blake
distracts
and JC
the ref,
Jane.
and then she gets double teamed, and you're like, why would she distract the ref? It was an accident, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah. Let's go to Jade, Cargill, and Naomi. I've loved everything Naomi has done, but Jade has just not improved in ring. I think her promos have gotten better a little bit. She still has a great presence.
The Queen of the Ring finals was probably the best match I've seen her have in WWE.
Sure.
You know,
Ironically, her best match I've ever seen was her last match in AEW was against Stat. That match was good. That was actually a good match.
That match was good. Yeah, Stat is really good. It's the thing.
Yeah. But I'm going to say Jade wins because I think we're about to have the super Jade Cargill push.
I think Naomi wins, and it's because Jade has destroyed her every time they faced each other.
Yeah,
I think Naomi wins to set up the idea of Jade. Well, no, I think Jade then wins the title, and then you have the Naomi with does she cash in on her? She's already beat her storyline.
I think Belair gets involved in this match somehow. I just don't know who she turns on.
If she turns, she'll turn on Jade, and she'll side with Naomi. Sure of that.
Where do I want to go? There's so many good matches on here. Trish and Tiffy. Fun match. Get Trish and Evolution, of course. Trish retired. I think Paulie said this almost 20 years ago now.
Surprisingly, like she's the one who I go, oh, somebody, you get older and you're not as good as you used to be. Every time I see her, she's as good as she used to be. She's so real good. And she's, like it's been 20 years maybe, but she is
September 17, 2006.
I mean, she does yoga. She's in great shape.
Yeah. September 2017. Yeah. 2006, she retired.
She retired. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's going to lose this match, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know what to make. When I say everybody gets babyface reactions, I don't know what Tiff is, kind of. Like, I know she's supposed to be a babyface. She doesn't feel like a natural babyface to me. I don't know. I'm not. I think she's very talented in ring. I just can't get behind her. She feels just something.
She does not feel as good as it was in NXT. This has not felt as good as what it does in NXT. So it'd be good to see Trish though. I don't think Trish is done. There's still the Blake Monroe match, obviously, to get to.
Mm-hmm.
That's Blake's dream match. So I would assume after Blake, maybe that'll be it for Trish. But there's still probably 3 years at least still of Trish. She's only in her 40s, right? Yeah, she's 49. She turns 50 in December. So she's in her prime. If you're to be talented, you're pretty much in your prime. Then we have what do I want to do last? Let's do this one. These are the two matches that I think would be the best WWE matches this card. Triple threat match: Becky, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship. I say Becky retains, but it's going to be a very good match. But I do think Lyra could turn heel in this.
I could absolutely see that. She's been acting very heelish lately. I think that you're going to see Becky retain as well. I think there is like crowd wants to cheer Becky. Bayley's a baby face. Lyra's supposed to be a baby face, but has been acting heelish. I don't know. Like last segment I watched on YouTube, they were not getting a good crowd reaction.
No,
and I think it's just that people are maybe miscast, and maybe this is a way to reset that. If Lyra turns, or if Lyra turned heel and the other two were baby faces, it would be more effective. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Great match,
I think you're right. I'm going to go with Bayley just to throw it out there, something different from you. But
I forgot to do the tag match. It's Judgment Day of Raquel and Roxanne versus Charlotte and Alexa versus Sol and Zara versus the Kabuki Warriors. Flair and Alexa are winning this.
I think the Kabuki Warriors are winning.
That'd be great. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, I think that now that they're reformed, I think they're the next team to challenge for the tag titles. So
good,
like to challenge 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 them against what's her name, Raquel and yes, thank you. Couldn't think of her name for some reason. Roxanne.
And then
Raquel and Roxanne.
The biggest WWE match of the week, in my opinion. I don't think almost anything even comes kind of close to this as far as good in ring this week. It's Io and Rhea Rhea has never beat Io outside of a house show that they're not counting. I don't know if Rhea should win yet. I think Io has done some great stuff, but there is the power that you have of Rhea. So I'm going to say they're going to go with Rhea here. I don't think that's the right call. I think you should keep the belt on Io, but I think they're going to give it to Rhea.
Io's been fantastic, don't get me wrong. But by far, the biggest reaction of any woman on the roster is Rhea. Like when she comes out, her reaction is one of the top in the entire company. She's a massive star, and she's going to get the belt back. The problem I have with Rhea is she gets the belt back. I just don't know where you go with her. Who challenges her?
It's for Kerr. That's the match. But that to me shouldn't be Clash in Paris. That should be WrestleMania. Is her and Vicker.
Yeah, and Vicker should win, but I don't see that happen. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't see them putting it on Rhea and then taking it off her right away. So I mean, you gotta, and like you say, you should hold off on that. Vicker should win the Rumble. Is ideally is what you would do. So I don't know what you do with Rhea as the champion to keep it fresh for that long. You know.
That's why even like if Nikki were to win, I don't really understand Nikki against any of their champions. It's not a match like other than Tiffy. Tiffy kind of makes sense, but Io and Nikki doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess they did that backstage. Rhea and Nikki makes zero sense at all. And then Jade and Nikki makes no sense. So I don't really, and again, I do think Nikki has a chance to win, but I don't really see the lineup for Nikki Bella match that makes sense compared to Vicker.
Well, yeah. The problem with Vicker is it's almost too quick. You almost want to, you want to build that up so the crowd again is anxious for it.
Yeah.
Instead of just going to it right away.
All right. Let's get to the show of the week. AEW All In. This, give a credit to Tony Khan and AEW. This company was in a little bit of a downward spiral there for a little bit, and they have gotten themselves out of that. And they have been the best wrestling company this year. They have put on the best PLEs this year. They have
CMLL is probably number 2, by the way.
Wow,
your best company of the year. They're having a great year.
They have the female talent of the year. I don't know who the male talent is yet. Number one, I don't think there's an undistinguished male talent of the year yet. Maybe you'll disagree with me, but I don't think there's an undisputed one. Like, but this time, like, okay, it's this. But I think they have the undistinguished female of the year with Mercedes. Let's get to it.
I think Tony Storm is the best overall performer in the business today. When you look at character work, promos, and in ring, those 3 combinations, I think she's the best overall performer in the world today.
What do we think is main eventing? It's probably Mox and Hanger at this point, right?
It is Mox and Hangman. It is Mox and Hangman, but if they went with the women, I sure wouldn't be upset. I'm so looking forward to that match.
Well, let's look at the pre-show, which I think you could watch the pre-show. I don't think we'll watch the pre-show on Sunday. So if you wanted to watch the pre-show, I'm sure that's fine.
Pre-show we can watch, yeah. I think so.
Poor FTR from having Edge and Christian at All In to facing the Outrunners, who is a team I like. It's just, you have a really big match of 2 of the best tag teams of the last 20 years versus an Outrunners team. But I think it's going to be good, and the Outrunners have tried to make themselves a little bit more serious lately as well.
It had a wicked match on Collision. Did you see it?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was hearing about it.
It was fantastic. And, Outriders are not known as in-ring for their in-ring work, but the personalities, sometimes you just get magic. It's like Batista wasn't really the greatest worker, but you got him with Undertaker, and it was magic every time. Yeah, I think these guys are magic.
I have Outrunners winning. Do we see Cope in this, or we see Cope in the tag match?
I think they're holding off on Cope. I think the Outriders win this, but I wouldn't be surprised to see FTR get their heat back.
You could see FTR and Edge and
Christian. Yeah, I think they'll hold off
Toronto,
on the Christian thing.
All Out Toronto. Makes sense. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a ton of sense. You should main event that.
Yeah. 8-man tag. You know what I will say for AEW? Like this big boom AJ thing. They put him on the pre-show, and it's perfectly harmless. He's a more than capable wrestler. They put them on the pre-show as a thing that's easy for that audience to get to. They don't put them into a main spot on the main card. They put him to where his audience can see him the easiest. I got to give TK a lot of credit on that of how he has booked Big Boom AJ and the Rizzler and all that whole family.
Hey, you got to give credit. If they're the company of the year, and he took back at the beginning of this year the creative reins completely, and the company's doing better than they were doing last year, where he was sharing the creative reins somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
He's Booker of the Year, and and you're right. He uses Big Boom perfectly,
and he's tagging with the conglomeration who is Hologram, Kyle O'Reilly, and Ishii, and he'll have Big Justice and the Rizzler in his corner against the Don Callis family, and they'll be taking on, I'm going to butcher this name, my apologies, so you can correct me, Morten, Hineko, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. Hunacero, thank you.
Hunacero.
Big Boom and Convocation will win this match.
Yeah, Big Boom doesn't seem to do a lot of jobs, does he?
No.
It's weird because the Don Callis family should probably win, but Big Boom doesn't do a lot of jobs.
All right, we start the show off. This card is insanity of just the talent and the matches are on here. Almost every single match here is a potential match of the year contender outside of the tag matches, and they're going to be fantastic.
What's also crazy about it is almost every match on there, you don't know the winner. It's a total guess. Like, it could go either way.
Yeah. So we start off with the trios match. It's the Ops of Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe against Claudio, Gabe Kidd, and Wheeler Yuta. This I mean, I don't know if this will be opening. I think the opening might be Cole and Fletcher, but this almost should open because this has been great. Joe's been great. Joe and Gabe Kidd have had some really good chemistry together. This match is going to be fantastic, and you're going to kind of forget about it by the end of the night. But this is going to be a freaking good match.
It's going to be a complete brawler match, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, it's like, who's going to win? I am just at a loss as to guessing.
I think the Ops,
the logic says to me, like, the Ops should win because they have Samoa Joe and because Gabe Kidd is not actually part of the company. Yeah. But on the other hand, if I don't see the Death Riders being just totally weeded out of every situation, so it's tough. I'm gonna go with the Ops, but
we could see Pac come back in this match as well.
Yeah, we could see Eddie Kingston too.
You could see Eddie Kingston in this. The tag team championships, I thought they did a really good job of mixing in the kind of, because there's been some complaints online of the Hurt Syndicate is too powerful, and I thought they did a good job on Dynamite this week.
They finally sold for somebody.
They finally sold, and then I thought they did a good job of that MJF segment, building the Battle Royal, and then building to the tag match. I thought that was brilliant booking right there.
Yeah.
Of kind of hitting both sides off. You have the Hurt Syndicate, you have Jet Speed, and you have the Patriarchy with Christian and Nick. Kip Sabian got involved in that, so we'll probably see a little bit of Kip in this as well. Maybe Luchasaurus is ready to come back.
I don't know what the case is with him.
There's a few people ready to come back in AEW.
Yeah.
I think the Hurt Syndicate is still winning this, but Jet Speed has really started to gain a lot of momentum, and it's a really fun tag team, and there's a lot of good matches ahead for them, and there's other stuff the Hurt Syndicate could do. And as I'm saying this, I think I'm talking myself into Jet Speed winning.
It's funny because what happened on Wednesday when they finally sold for everybody, they were so viciously beat on for so long, they almost came across like the baby faces.
I know.
Like, it's almost like a babyface turn for them. So, and they might get the most crowd reaction, babyface reaction. When I say people in AEW get heel heat, and they do, compared to WWE, the one that's probably the outlier is the Hurt Syndicate. They get a big, pretty, people like chanting, "We Hurt People" and everything like that. I actually think that the Patriarch is winning. I think Jet Speed is taking the pin. I think that's where they're going to go because Tony Khan's favorite wrestler is Christian. Seems to always love Christian and putting belts on him. Christian always does great when he gets the belt. And I just think storyline wise, I think the whole point is that they're not going to beat the Hurt Syndicate 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. So that's why you have an extra team, and Jet Speed can take the pin, and I don't think it hurts them. So I think I will go with that as my logic behind it. And also, I think storyline wise, for whatever they're going to do with Christian and Edge and Cope, whatever you want to call them, this will play into it.
Next up, the AEW TNT Championship, Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher.
I have to say this, sorry, just to go. Yeah. You could also see Christian get pinned and Kip and Nick Wayne just beating the piss out of him.
And then Cope comes
setting
back.
up a tag match.
Yeah.
Cope coming back, saving him.
I want to have Cope save him at All In, though. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense right off the bat because everything they've gone through.
Well, if they're beating the piss out of him, if they bloody him for losing and they turn
he's
on
like, you're always my brother, I'll always save you.
Then you get Kip and Nick Wayne. Then you get Kip and Nick Wayne. Then you can do the Young Bucks versus the old fucks later.
AEW TNT Championship, Cole Fletcher, going to be a great match. I do have Fletcher winning this because it's time to get some gold on that guy.
Absolutely, you just nailed it. Agreed, 100%.
Yeah, could be a good match though. I'm going to save the where they have it here and ranked with the one big tag match. I'm going to save that for the end here. The 2 casino gauntlets. Do we have participants on here at all? We don't have a lot of. All we have for the women is Stat and Megan Bain for 1 and 2. And then for the men, all we have is Briscoe, MJF. Great segment, by the way, the Talkie Talk. Good job there. Briscoe did great. And then Bandino, fantastic. Brody King, Mystico, and Ricochet. So maybe a few surprises in there. I wouldn't be surprised if...
should go 8 to 10 men deep.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we finally see, again, just where you can see in Eddie Kingston. Maybe that's where Keith Lee makes a return. Scorpio Scott came back on finally on Collision.
Finally.
So he could be in it.
Braun Strowman?
Something like that. Maybe. It's possible. You know? Like, I could see it. Something like that is probably going to happen. I do think MJF is winning the men's, and give me Willow Nightingale to win the women's.
I love it. Love it. Yeah, I think both those are going to be... I guess maybe one of the gauntlets would open up, maybe. Maybe that's what opens up the show.
Could be. If they do, it'd probably be the male.
I do think the trios match should open the show, though.
That would be great. Well, yeah. You have a card this good, you're good either way.
I feel bad for whoever if poor Adam Cole is the buffer between Mercedes and then the world title match. This poor guy was the buffer the last pay-per-view, and he has to be the buffer again.
Yeah, and it was tough.
All right, and now this card just gets just dumb.
I know.
All right, tag team match. It is Swerve and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. If Swerve and Ospreay lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW championship for 1 year. If the Bucks lose, they are stripped of the EVP championship. EVP titles. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, the Bucks are winning.
Yep.
Probably it's to set up. The whole thing is that Swerve doesn't fully trust Will, and Will's the one who suggested this stipulation, and now because of Will, Swerve won't be able to challenge for a year and set up tension between them, and then they'll tag and they'll be partners that don't like each other, and then eventually they'll go after the titles or something like that, and then eventually one will turn on the other, and you'll have the storyline, and it'll take up the better portion of the year until they get into the next year's tournament, where the finals should be for the Owen. Should be Swerve versus Ospreay, with the winner getting the title shot that they couldn't get for a year.
And where's All In next year again?
London.
Yeah.
London, Wembley.
Yeah. So they're doing their best to keep that title off of Ospreay. And this is the best way they can do it right now.
This is the best way they can do it. But storyline wise, when he wins the Owen and he challenges Page in the rematch that he lost at the Owen the year before, a year from now at Wembley. I mean, I already can't wait for All In 2026.
By the way, you could also make that a tie next year in the Owen somehow, and you could do Swerve and Ospreay first Hangman in the main event because there's so many storylines already built in on that.
Oh, that would be so good. That would be great. So many storylines.
It makes more sense to have them not competing for the title for 1 year because they just got to keep that world title away from Will as long as they can, and they kind of need an excuse right now. So this makes the most sense to keep the title away from Will right now.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fantastic match, though.
I can't believe I'm doing this show, and this match is the match I'm talking about third. Okada versus Kenny Omega is the third last match I'm talking about. It's the third last match I'm talking about.
I should have gone back and watched some of their matches. I didn't. Maybe I still have time to go back and watch some of their matches from New Japan that were so damned epic. Can they still go at the same level they did? I think so.
I wasn't sure until I saw Ibushi versus Okada. Then I was like, okay, Okada still has it. Yeah.
That was so good. I think they can still do it. I think they're going to have a fantastic match. I think Okada's winning.
I think
I got Okada winning.
Too. I think he should win.
Yeah. And I think he should win clean, but I'm not sure he'll win clean. But either way, I expect just a spectacular match.
As far as the belts, that's a little bit of a clusterfuck. I don't know what's going on with these belts because
they're
like you're not in them. Tony's like, no, there's 3 separate belts.
There's going to be 3 separate belts. It's like, okay, do they defend them individually? Do they defend all 3? They lose all 3. Does the one become the Continental in the tournament again and get stripped of them again? Like what the hell? But either way, they'll have an Intercontinental champion. That's all that matters.
Yeah. All right. I don't. This is such a damn deep card. Women's Championship: Timeless Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné, which could be a main event almost on any other show. This one's really tough. This is the toughest one for me to go with.
So tough. It has been a great build, partially because they kept them apart and they're both being dominant in their divisions. Mercedes has never lost. Toni has been champion for better part of 2 years, 2.5 years, honestly.
Outside of the Mariah
they're
winning
both
the title.
Fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Outside of Mariah winning it for a little while. They're both fantastic. Like just fantastic performers, fantastic wrestlers. That promo was really good, I thought, to open Wednesday's Dynamite between the two of them. I need an eat shit bitch shirt from Toni Storm.
And a pickle shirt.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know. You pick your winner first because I can't.
I don't know.
I think Tony's winning.
In either one of these main events, I still don't know.
No, I'm going Mercedes.
I'll go Mercedes. I was going to go Mercedes because she's my girl, so I'll go Mercedes. I think because of the belt collector, it makes sense to have this point now for Mercedes to win.
It's just like who beats her eventually for?
If
who's
not
the one who gets the
Megan Bayne? Megan Bayne?
I don't know. Megan Bayne's pretty awesome.
Although at All Out, if you had Willow win and then Willow's the one that beats her just 2 months later.
And she's the one who beat her in New Japan caused the injury. They've had one match since then, which Mercedes won.
Yeah, so they're 1-1.
That would work storyline wise.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, it just feels like Toni is so.
The only because I don't know who's next for Toni. Who's next for Toni?
Yeah, she's kind of done everything she can do as champion, hasn't she?
Because she's done a Megan Bayne match, right?
Yeah, she did one.
Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't know who the next woman. She hasn't really done a Willow match, so there still is Willow. There still is some stat stuff there, I guess.
Yeah.
So there still is stuff there.
There's still stuff, but if Toni won, and it's like, would all of Mercedes' momentum just go Whereas if Mercedes won, would Tony's momentum go down? I don't think so, because Tony's about the character and about the character work and the promos and all that stuff. I think if she lost her character-wise, she would handle it. Whereas if Mercedes lost, part of her whole gimmick is that she doesn't lose, is that she wins. It's just she's the best.
Well, have her go on a losing streak. Go from the belt collector to the belt, like losing everything. She loses every single belt, and she's on a downward spiral. And then, kind of like Ospreay, she has to find her way back to next year. And if you keep the belt on Tony that extra time, and then have her face against Tony,
that almost makes her the baby face, though.
I know,
and that makes her the baby face. Then she's the underdog. It's a good storyline. I just don't see it happening with her. Yeah,
I guess Tony can still face Mina again. I'm going to go too, because I can't think of any other opponents for Tony after this. Then there's still a big stat match, because that Stat and her had that match that was so close with her and Mercedes, and you can tell that story even at Revolution of her and Stat back in February. Like,
well, they had two matches. They had two matches, and both were fantastic. So.
And Stat was so close. Stat would almost be the one I would take the belt off of Monet, to be honest.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. The thing is, Stat and Willow have a storyline too, so.
Yes. Then our potential main event, I think it's the main event, Texas Deathmatch, AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Everything leans to Hangman, but I still have the back of my mind that Darby's going to win this title.
I think there's two reasons to think that Hangman's not winning. One is Darby. There's that Darby factor.
Yeah.
And two is just that it seems like such a foregone conclusion storyline-wise and business-wise that he wins.
They just did that last year with Bryan.
Yeah, like, I just feel like his storyline-wise, it's just so obvious that he wins. And business-wise, he's so much the guy. Ever since he cut that promo in Spanish in Arena Mexico, he's felt like the guy. I feel like it's so obvious he's going to win that they're going to not do it because it is too obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
still going with Hangman. I'm going to pick Hangman.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% on any of these matches except for probably Kyle Fletcher winning.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be a little WrestleMania 40-ish as far as the Avenger portal type of thing happening at the end there. And that's where I do think you can see a Darby. I think you can see a Bryan in this match. I think you can see Eddie Kingston in this match. Like, I think you can see some of those. Sting
could definitely be there.
I do think we'll kind of see that WrestleMania. And look, I know there's been other matches that have done that, but that template, I think we can kind of see, because there is a lot of parallels to Cody winning at WrestleMania 40.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a redemption storyline, right?
Yeah. Because pretty much after Punk,
it's going to be good. And because it's a Texas Death match, they can do anything, and both guys are going to bleed. It's going to be a heavy, hard match. And that's why it's going to main event right there, because of that stip, I think. As soon as I heard that stip, they're going with them as the main event.
Yeah. So there you go. I think this is a turning point for AEW. There was a point. When did you think WWE took the baton from them? Was it like 2003, 2002? Kind of when the bloodline started to really go to another level.
Yeah, I think it was about the same time as the crowd started to get behind Sammy and to turn in the bloodline. And you still had the Kevin Owens storyline with the bloodline. You had Cody, and you had all this multiple stuff that all was centered around the bloodline. But it was when this crowd started to get behind Sammy about that time period that was all going on. I felt like they took the lead again and became the company. Yeah. Now it's definitely AEW, and we got to keep in mind. I mean, our hearts go out to the people of Texas right now.
My God,
in the horrible situation, and the fact that that's the state where they're having this event is a little bit hard to wrap your head around almost. But this is going to be the biggest gate ever drawn by a wrestling company that isn't WWE in North America. It's I think a $2.5 million gate right now.
That's
is
crazy.
what they're saying. So the biggest gate, bigger than anything WCW ever drew, bigger, double what they drew. Their biggest gate so far was the one in Toronto, the Forbidden Door in Toronto. That's the biggest gate they ever drew in North America, and this is going to be double that. So this is a company that Collision ratings and Dynamite ratings in Canada are way up. I think they're up something like 40% in the UK.
They're starting to show up again in the States too. They were at 5s for a bit. They jumped up to 630 for Dynamite this week. So
yeah, 630. Plus they're on HBO Max, which is probably cutting in almost half of their viewers of what they used to have, who are watching on there, and it doesn't show. So I mean, they got the momentum, and they're not gonna lose it from this weekend. And I just don't see AJ leaving enough to take all the hype away from what a good show this will be.
No, it's gonna be announced. I mean, for WWE, they got like 3 weeks after that. They got to go right to SummerSlam. I think AEW has a little bit of time before they get to Forbidden Door. Could be wrong, but
I think it's 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, and then All Out is after that in the middle of September. I like that they don't go all in, all out now. I think that was
too much.
That was way too much. And I don't care. Like this, I've sounded a little bit like a mark in this, but it's as someone that hasn't watched as much wrestling as much the last few months, like live. It's exciting when you have a busy week like this, but when your show is this good, right? Like this is the kind of show too that people like me that haven't been watching as much, it's like that draws you right in. Right? Like I am excited for, and this is the type of show too you want to watch with friends too, right? Like there's certain shows, there's only a handful of shows every year where you're like, okay, I have to watch this with people. I have to watch this with people. Like I can't just watch this by myself. I have to watch this with people. Evolution feels like that too. Like, and maybe AEW goes so long by the time we're done, Evolution might be started anyways. So maybe we'll watch Evolution together. I don't know. But it does feel like, this is the show I want to watch with people.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like I say, it's organically become their WrestleMania instead of being forced upon us. And storyline wise, it's all leading to this, and it feels like it has been creatively for a long time. And you already can see where they're going to go creatively, where they can go storyline wise a year from now at this event, and that's exciting. And it's a funny thing is their storylines are very different than WWE. And when we say WWE is better, it's because their storylines are better. The wrestling's never better. It can be close, but it can't be better. It's never better. AEW's wrestling is always just a little bit better or much better. One of those two things.
The storylines aren't even good in WWE right now. Like, what's the best storyline? No. The Cena thing's been a flop.
Yeah.
The R-Truth thing, they kind of botched. That's been kind of a flop.
Yeah. Oh, the Ron Killings thing is just a nightmare.
Punk's momentum has dropped significantly. The Seth group is good, but Braun's the one that's so over, and everyone wants to see Braun be the guy, and that's not happening anytime soon. Karrion Kross is over, but they don't know the right idea to do with him.
You won't sign a new contract.
Who did?
Oh, he won't sign a new contract, I said. Karrion Kross.
No. Kevin Owens isn't on TV. Cody's going to come and face Cena, but we both know him and Roman.
I am not looking forward to Cena and Cody at SummerSlam. Are you?
No, because I don't think he's going to win because he's going to go do Street Fighter.
Yeah, he's gone.
So like he's going to be gone, and Cody's in Naked Gun and in a role as well. So I think Cody's about to split for Hollywood pretty fast here.
Mm-hmm.
Roman's obviously already split for Hollywood. Cena's about to fucking leave. You have a big star in Braun Breaker. There is no denial about that with them. But unlike with AEW, even kind of watching it from afar, everything it kind of seems how when WWE is like, oh, there's this with Judgment Day, and there's this with the Bloodline, and this is going on with Punk and Drew, and this and this and this and this. And now all of a sudden I'm like, well, like Punk doesn't even have really, I guess he's kind of feuding with Seth, but it's been so on and off, and Roman's going to come back and then fuck off again. At least now I would say with AEW, the way the momentum has shifted back to them, Hanger winning leads to this whole great revival of the championship coming out of the case and all these new things he could do, and potentially him and Kenny go and take on the Bucks again. And that you maybe make that a little bit fresher for the EVP statuses or something like that. And if Moxley wins, then we're waiting to potentially All Out with Darby. And there's the whole story there with Darby. And then the same thing we mentioned with Tony and Mercedes is a whole different story. And if Kenny loses...
WWE is very much focused on the story. And when their storytelling isn't great, there's nothing to really draw you in. AEW, you can still watch when the storytelling isn't great because the wrestling is still great, but it's a little more difficult. But you'll still watch it a little bit because, the pay-per-views are still fantastic. But if WWE storylines aren't hitting, they're not such a fantastic in-ring product that you're like, I must see this. And it's not just us. There's a lot of people complaining about the level of WWE storytelling this year.
It's bad.
And their booking, and it hasn't been as strong.
The storylines look at it. It's July.
With multiple things.
It's July. It's July. Aleister Black and Rusev both came back post-Mania, and neither one has been in the PLE yet. Neither one really has a full direction, really. Like Rusev,
no.
I don't know what his full direction is. He's just kind of his AEW character that doesn't want to lose. Aleister Black might be teaming with Priest, I guess, but then he has the thing with Ron Killings. I think they have a match this week on Smack. Like, those are two characters you debuted, and you haven't done anything to push them forward. Mello, you've had on there for a year, and there's so much you can do with Mello. So the tide has definitely turned of... You have the right play box, but the right people aren't playing correct. It feels very much.
Tell me, AEW here, just to say, AEW here at All In. When we're talking about it, we're talking about the matches, but every match has to have a storyline. It's not WWE's story, not the same type of storylines WWE tells, or as but every match has a storyline still.
Like I said, Morten, that Briscoe MJF promo into the tag chaos was fantastic. That felt like, if people want Attitude Era, that felt like Attitude Era booking, and so did the Swerve with the limo thing. That felt Attitude Era-ish to me. That was like, that's pure. If you miss the Attitude Era, I thought this AEW had a lot of Attitude Era level booking to it.
It's that feature everybody for at least a second and and show multiple storylines and just keep. It's almost like Crash TV, but it flows well enough that you're enjoying it. I think that, and again, the wrestling will be spectacular. I don't want to be down on WWE. I want WWE to do good. I want to enjoy everything, but right now AEW has just really pulled ahead for the time being.
Well, I was at a point. I was like, I have to watch Raw, and now I'm like, do I have to watch Raw? Yeah. And that's not going to help. I mean, Raw, you're on the clock. You got like 8 weeks to figure shit out, because your biggest competitor is coming back. And you got about 8 weeks to make people want to tune into Netflix. And right now, I don't think a lot of people are going to want to change to Netflix when Monday Night Football is on. You got about 8 weeks to get your shit back together, because college football and NFL are coming back, and you're dealing with them both on Fridays and Mondays. And right now, you don't have the product that can take people away from a Monday Night Football game right now.
No. And putting on those 3 shows over 2 days to largely to counter program, I don't think is the right strategy. It's just there's a point where it is an oversaturation, and WWE is very close to that.
It's petty. No. It's petty bullshit to me. Like, I don't think, whether they were TKO or not with TKO, this was going to happen. Regardless, I don't think, but we will get out here. But I do think too, the TKO and brand integration into everything, and the TKO business side of things has also been a thing that I think has really brought down WWE quite a bit. And you're seeing this year, like if we did worst booker, I don't even think it's Paul Levesque. I think it's TKO.
Feels like it could be Dwayne Johnson just based on him screwing stuff up.
Hey, everything will work out. Just to change a few things here and there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully WWE can figure it out.
Not to dump on WWE, but we did this with AEW. So like they're 3 weeks away from SummerSlam, Morten. Can you tell me, outside of whatever Roman's going to probably do against Seth, maybe Gunther and Punk, and then Cena and Cody, are those big matches to you though?
None of them has me excited. None of them. Gunther and Punk maybe would be interesting, but like none of these. There's nothing that has me storyline wise, or boy, the in-ring action is going to be so great. Like their best in-ring performers don't usually go over. Have you noticed? Guys like Ray Phoenix, right?
No,
don't usually go over, right?
Penta.
So
Penta and Seth was really good, by the way, on Monday.
Pardon me?
Penta and Seth on Monday was really good.
Yeah. I mean,
could be better, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's just hard not to be bored with him. I mean, like I say, if the crowd would just stop cheering everybody, that would help so much.
Well, we'll all see how everything goes down this weekend. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, Morten. And until then, cheers and enjoy the weekend, folks.